Wildcat fans, we're here, opening drive. Head coach Josh Strickland. This segment sponsored by Roofmasters and Bubba's 33 in Longview, Texas. Coach, man, we're here. We're 8 games into it. Talk to us a little bit about last week and about this coming week, man.
Yeah, I think it's been 2 weeks since we've talked to you guys, and since then, we're, we won one and lost one, and I thought we took care of business like we should have versus Nacogdoches, and then we come back Friday night, and I just didn't think we were very sharp. Unfortunately, we didn't play well, and as the head coach, it's my job to get those guys ready, and I'll give credit to White House; they had their guys ready, and we didn't play like that. I don't think that will be a problem again the rest of the season. So I was worried about the trap game after beating Marshall with NAC. We played pretty well there. We had a game that we didn't play well, and it cost us because I've said on here all along that we have to play really good football to win games. We're not built yet to where we can make mistakes and still have a chance to win, and that was the case Friday night. So we have had some great practices this week. I am glad that we are back on a normal schedule. I'll promise you that. And but they've been getting after it. And let's be honest, if you could pick any opponent to play after a loss as a coach this week, it's made my job a little easier because I really don't have to say much to those guys.
You got a rival coming up, I'll tell you.
Pine stinking tree.
And I'm going to get, before we get into Pine Tree, because I know my partner's going to want to jump in a bunch on that one.
Yeah.
But, we're going into 9th game of the year.
Yep.
Man, is this season flying by as much for you as it is us sitting by? How are we into week 9 right now?
It's crazy. It's crazy how we get through Friday night and just, our pattern as coaches and kind of how we do things. Man, you blink, and it is Wednesday of practice, and we play in 2 days. We walked down that field in Nacogdoches, and I swore we had played Marshall 2 days before that.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. And we have not had our off week yet, our bye week yet, so it'll be 9 straight before we do. And so we haven't had a week without a game or a scrimmage for 11 weeks. So, it's flown by. Now, don't get me wrong, time flies when you're having fun, so we've been having lots of fun. So,
Well, I want to talk about I know we haven't talked a couple. Let's talk about the Nacogdoches game a little bit about that. The Nacogdoches game, you had all 3 phases going: offense, defense, and your special teams. I thought your offense was run to a T.
Yeah.
Jace was throwing the ball well. You had Ethan catching. We were running the ball well.
And we go into games offensively, and man, I don't know if we're gonna throw for 200, rush for 200, throw for 300, rush for 3. You don't know. I mean, you look at those 2 games, and Nacogdoches, we really have had our least yardage output all year, all district, with 410 yards. Well, that's because defensive special teams has great field position on that. We didn't have to go very far, and other than the first play, we threw an interception on our first play after we stopped them on the drive. And I'll be honest, that place was eerily quiet in the first quarter. That place was dead. And I'm sitting here going, I just watched this film versus Nacogdoches and White House, and I saw that's exactly how it happened. But once we got rolling, I think the key was to get the ball back with 1:08 right before half, get that quick touchdown, and get the ball back second half. And I don't think they were able to keep up with us after that.
Yeah, that was one thing we discussed on air. Scoring right before halftime, and then getting the ball right back, and then we run down and score, and just you could tell Nacogdoches was done.
Anytime you can get a 2-for-1 like that, those are huge.
That's exactly right. So now let's talk about the last ball game.
Yep.
Offense was okay.
Yeah.
We missed a lot of assignments here and there.
Yeah.
Defense, we've got to pick that up, and our special teams for the first time this year
got us in trouble. Yeah. It's hard to have a mistake on the opening kickoff.
Yep.
Give them the ball back. A team like that had already scored over 50 points 3 times before they even played us out of 6 games. It is hard to give them a possession on offense. Not only does that, it takes away from yours. And then to give them a special teams touch on the block punt, and those are things we hadn't been doing. We struggled defensively, and I mean anybody anybody saw that. Like somebody said, yeah, y'all. I said, yeah. I mean, Ray Charles saw that.
Right,
So,
right. That's not hard to see, but
offensively, there's some things in there. I even showed some things to you on film that where it looks like, hey, that wasn't bad, but man, we were a little bit here and a little bit there from having even more. We just weren't sharp on offense. Now, when you rush for 405 yards, you expect to win, but.
Well,
you
Coach,
get 21 points on between your turnover, and I call it 21 points. Opening kickoff, we fumble, they get it 2 plays later, they score.
Yeah.
We get the ball right back, we just walk down and score, and that's why I said that's a 14-point
Yeah,
swing.
it is.
In
Yeah, it is.
my opinion, if we keep the ball and don't fumble it, you're going to score pretty easily, and then the momentum's back with us.
Yeah. Yeah, and even after that, they held them after in the second half, first drive, we scored, we tied up. We had our chances, we just didn't finish.
Coach, I love talking about what we did, that we can improve on. But I want to know, Coach, Pine Tree, what do they look like? Also, do the boys know the gravity of what they can potentially do?
We always meet on Tuesday. We had one extra meeting this week. Yes, they understand that. Going to Pine Tree, they're the best looking 1-win team I've ever seen. I can promise you. Man, they're looking at them defensively. Their defensive line is, man, they are really really good. They're athletic in the secondary, good at linebacker, and they have their quarterback back who hasn't played in about 6 or 7 weeks. That's going to help them tremendously on offense.
You think that's by design? They bring them back against us, Coach?
No, I think it was just by
Kind of
chance.
it seems something like Shady Pine Tree would probably do.
I don't think they
I'm
would.
just saying.
I don't think they'd want to hold him out until week 9.
Until week 9.
Yeah, I don't think that was their plan.
And Coach, 2 weeks left of playing time, 3 weeks total.
Yeah.
What's chances you see your team doing what they need to do to make the first playoff run?
I would say our chances are very high. I would put a big number on it, but some people might listen to it. So I have full faith in our guys that they'll get the job done. There's been talk out there. Try not to let our guys just say, "Hey, we take care of business. We'll worry about all the math and who does what after this. We got to win."
That's a cheese thing again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're tired of hearing me say that.
Well, fans at home, that's been Opening Drive with head coach Josh Strickland. We'll see y'all next week.
Thanks, Coach.